Hello, welcome back to the Smallholding. So today I've come to a bit of a decision with my strawberry plants that I'm actually going to make a couple of strawberry beds, permanent beds in the garden. I don't know if you've seen one of my first videos where I made strawberry towers, and I had 3 of them spaced along here where the worm bed is. Very good idea. 6-foot post with these 5-litre pots, 4 per layer around the post and staggered so that they sit on top of each other like that. 28 pots all the way up to the top. It worked really well. The only issue I had down here, obviously I have to conserve my water, and with the nice breeze and the south facing sun all day, they did okay, but quite often I'm not down here till the evening if I'm working all day, and quite often they dry and they wilt, and it's just, I think it's more suited to somewhere where you can perhaps have a drip system where you've got power and water, which obviously I haven't got either here. I've only got stored water and no power. So I took the pots off, and just I've had them along here last summer, and I got quite a good crop off them, but it still uses quite a bit of water, so I want to kind of limit my pots. I've got these blueberries in these big pots and a few other things, but I want to limit the amount of pots I have to water, because that's just a daily job for me. With everything else I've got to do, it just takes up quite a bit of time. So I'm going to take the best plants from these 5-litre pots, and just it's quite early in the season, so it's fine to sort of hack them about a little bit. They'll recover quite well. So all I'm doing is I'm knocking them out of the pot and just basically shaking the compost off the roots a little bit, and then any of these old stems and stalks and old leaves, just give them a trim up, just basically tidy them up, little spring clean. Everything's starting to shoot now, they're nice and strong and wanting to go, and you can even, it won't hurt them if there's a lot of root. These are the ones I'm using are mainly runners, so they're not massive, but if the roots are too big, you can just trim some of the roots off and that won't hurt, and they'll come back fine from that. So what I'm basically creating is basically a bare root plant, a little bit more root on it than you would get if you order them, so they should come on nice and strong. And I'm going to try and get in my beds, I reckon I can get 3 across, and I'm just going to see how many I can get down. I want to get in as many as I can, but without being too dense. Obviously you need to be able to get around them to pick. So we'll have a look. I'm going to do a couple of beds, and I'm just all these strawberries in the pots are Mara de Bois, they're called. It's a really nice tasting strawberry. I have got some others actually in the ground under these Taberries and Loganberries, which are variety called Vibrant, I think they're called. I didn't get any fruit off those last year. They struggled a bit in the heat wave. They were a last minute, like a late offer, and they went in and suffered a bit in the heat. So I'm hoping to get some off them this year and see what they're like. They're supposed to be quite nice too. But in the beds, I'm just going to use these Mara de Bois. They're supposed to be a really lovely strawberry, and I had a fair bit of fruit off them and made a little couple of jars of jam. And they are very nice, real sweet sort of. They remind me more of like the Alpine strawberry taste, quite a sort of strong strawberry flavour. They don't get massive, they're not the biggest strawberry in the world, but the taste and the texture just make up for that. It really does. They're a lovely strawberry. So I'm going to get on and knock out a couple of dozen of these, tidy them up, and then we'll go and put them in the beds. So I'll just show you again what I'm doing. These are the strawberries in the pot. I'm basically just knocking them out and just knock the compost off the roots. You can be quite rough with them, you know, they're pretty sturdy old things. It doesn't matter if I tear some of the roots this time of year, they really want to come back. So I'm just pulling some of the roots off and the compost off, just so it makes it a little easier for me to plant, rather than having to dig into my no-dig beds and plant this sized holes. It's just going to make it a bit easier for me, and they'll come back fine. And then all these straggly old leaves and things, and even some of this root on the side, you can trim off. Just give them a bit of a spring clean, a bit of a tidy, and all this can go in the compost as a brown. So like I say, these are just runners from last year. Big chunk of wood, and that is basically what I'm going to be planting. So like I said, you can hear I'm just tearing at the roots a little bit, But there's so much root on that, it's going to come back perfectly fine, and that is going to be a nice fruiting strawberry this year. So I've got about 24 plants in the trug, and what I'm going to do is I've marked a roughly a central line. I'm going to put one in the centre, and with strawberries you probably plant them sort of 12 to 18 inches apart. In the past I'd always do the bigger spacing, but I think here, if I get one in the middle, I think I'm going to have to go at 12 to get the most I can in the bed. I'm going to have to go at 12 inches, which would just be out to the, just near the side of the bed there. So I'm going to get 3 in a row, and then obviously 12-inch spacings both ways, and I'm just going to go down and see how many I can get in. So if I start just there, the bed is coming out to there. So some of these are quite big plants, some are a bit smaller, but they should all fruit this year. So I'm just going to pop them in, give them a firm in, and then 12 inches, probably I can go maybe 13. Just check I am central. So yeah, it's going to be about the same each side, about 12 or 13 inches I reckon I can get, which isn't too bad. So let's just have a look how this looks. It's a little bit closer than I've done them in the past, but I'm hoping it'll be fine as long as I keep on top of the runners and have enough space to pick the fruit. Then it should be fine. And obviously planting them a little bit closer together will help to sort of keep the weeds down a little bit as well. So I'm even planting in the little runners like that, because they'll all come on well this year. So that's the sort of spacing. 12 or 13 each way. I've just got little 6-inch marks on my diver here. So I'm going to get on and get all the rest of these in. It's getting a bit late in the day now, so I'll probably come back and finish the other bed tomorrow. But I'll get them in, get these in, give them a bit of a water, and see how we go. So I'm really happy I managed to get 30 plants per bed, so 60 in total. I think the last time I planted in some of the first beds over there, I put them at quite a bigger spacing than this and only got about 18 plants I think per bed. So now 60 plants. I've still got probably 20 pots spare. I'll top those up with some fresh compost and probably just leave those few in pots, or pop them in somewhere. You know, I can pop them in over the edge of the veg patch over here. But there'll be spares anyway, because a couple of these slightly smaller ones may not take. But we'll see. But yeah, so all in all, 60 plants. I should get a good lot of strawberries, and hopefully have enough to make a bit of jam as well. But I will do a bit of a catch up in the summer. I know last year I didn't do too many videos in the summer. I just got a bit busy. I will try to do a video a week through the summer, and I will try to do a bit of a sort of tour, show you what I'm doing, just perhaps each month. Show you how things have come on and that. But yeah, until then, we will see you next time, guys. Take it easy.